Have you noticed that we're watching the rise of the Kirkians, a brand new movement that is sweeping the country? And it is mainly being fueled by empowered young men. I think young men who have been silent for the last 5 years, basically, are looking to Charlie as if to say, he was my voice in a way. You know, he didn't preach violence. He wasn't racist, even though he gets called racist. He always said, show me where I've been racist, and none of the people he debated ever could. So they're seeing someone who stood up nobly against all this hate. And he'd go into a sea of hate and just sit there and calmly debate with them. And it was a noble thing. And he's been shot in the throat for basically upsetting them. And upsetting them in the way that all he ever really did was question their ideology and ask them some questions and reveal that maybe a lot of their ideology wasn't based on facts, but just based on virtue signaling. And now he's dead. But I'm watching a rise of the Kirkians, and I don't think it's going to stop. It's incredible. It's incredible how one bullet and the death of one man can have such an effect on the world so quickly. The other thing, though, is I'm also watching a lot of people, very extreme lefties mainly, who are bemoaning the fact that they've lost their jobs because they've publicly celebrated Charlie's death. And what I don't think, or I think what they're waking up to, but they might not realize why they're getting sacked, is their hatred. And they really have had a hate for the last 5 years or more of anyone who disagreed with them. So if you didn't think a man could give birth, you were homophobic. If you wanted to question why you were bringing so many immigrants into the country when so many of our own people of all races are homeless and struggling, you're racist. Or you're a climate change denier, or you're an anti-vaxxer. No arguments, no debates about these things, just words to try get us to shut up, and then or a threat of getting sacked, which a lot of us did. And now they're copying it. But it's different now, because see, what happened is people had been tolerating the hate, hoping that it would rectify itself. But the border of hate was reached with Charlie's throat. And now people are going, no more. And these people who are losing their jobs, you have to realize you're no longer protected. And you have been protected. You were protected by the social media companies before Elon bought Twitter. Twitter, basically, unless you were dressed in a rainbow flag, any post you put up there would be taken down. You know, they were so fanatical that way. And so here it is. But what I do think, which is really sad, is I think by sacking these people who are celebrating Charlie's death, we're kind of betraying Charlie's legacy, because he was about discourse. And I was wondering if we could just continue to talk to them, would be what actually Charlie wanted. I know it's the slower route, I know it's the harder route, but I think it's the nobler route. I think becoming like those who oppressed you doesn't liberate you. It just means you've got down in the gutter with with them. And I don't think that's what Charlie would want. And not that I can stop what's happening, but it's just an observation.